The Alabama Farmers Federation and the Alabama Farmers Cooperative proudly present Simply Southern with your hosts Jim Allen and Mary Johnson.
Good morning and thanks for joining us for Simply Southern. I'm Mary Johnson.
And I'm Jim Allen. Here in the U.S. we think of cows when it comes to dairy products, but in other parts of the world goat's milk is preferred. Today we'll visit an East Alabama farm where they make fancy cheeses, soaps, and lotions, all from goat's milk.
An Aliceville community group is working to make Pickens County healthier by changing perceptions about food and exercise. And they're starting with the Lord's Pantry, a food assistance ministry. Plus, Sydney Phelps from Bonnie Plants is talking with everyone's favorite entomologist, Dr. A, about things that might bug you about your backyard garden.
But when we come back, we'll take a step back in time at one of our state's most lovely and historical treasures. Stay tuned for more Simply Southern.
There's no such thing as downtime when you own a farm. This is your land. You tend it and try to get the most from it, no matter the weather or time of day. It's been that way for generations. And for generations, your local quality co-op store has been there for you, with a full range of agriculture supplies and services, from feed to fertilizer, seed to grain storage, and the right hardware for any application. You'll always find what you need, plus friendly, knowledgeable advice at your local quality co-op store. There's one near you.
Support healthy food from local farmers. Join the Alabama Farmers Federation today. Since 1921, the Alabama Farmers Federation has been the voice of farmers and rural Alabama, standing up for family values, good government, low taxes, and economic opportunity. The Federation has helped make agriculture and forestry Alabama's largest industry, accounting for 1 in every 4 jobs. Join the Alabama Farmers Federation today at any local Alpha Insurance office.
Today's farming operation is more complex than ever before, with precision agriculture becoming an integral piece to farm management. AccuField provides precision agriculture technologies and site-specific management capabilities in a simplified and interactive format, helping you put all the pieces of the farming puzzle together. For more information, visit us at www.accufield.com.
When AJ was born with a heart defect, we practically lived at the hospital. We weren't prepared for that. My Alpha customers, my Alpha family made sure we had everything we needed. Now I'm even more motivated to help take care of them. Who I am fits what I do. I am Alpha.
For the best agents in the business, call Alpha.
The Civil War drove an industrial revolution here in Alabama, which enjoyed a legacy as a top producer of iron and steel in the years that followed. Not far from the famed furnaces of Birmingham, you can still see relics of their early cousins that forged the weapons of Confederate armies, and enjoy one of Alabama's most beautiful state parks. Just south of Birmingham sits 1,500 acres of rolling hills, majestic woodlands, and streams. For nearly 50 years, Tannehill Ironworks Historical State Park has been a sanctuary for countless visitors to enjoy the wonder of our state's natural beauty.
We're not too isolated, but we're just enough. You don't get a whole lot of phone signal out here, so that makes it even better, and you're not supposed to when you come out here to relax.
Setting Tannehill apart from many of Alabama's other parks is its place in history. Long before Tannehill opened its doors as an outdoor getaway, it was a vital part of forging the iron that powered the Confederate war machine and would one day define the area as a leader in steel production.
On your way in, you don't see the furnace first, so you do get a little bit distracted about everything else that you come in to see, but the history is at the furnace.
The remains of these amazing stone furnaces have been preserved after mostly being destroyed by Union armies during the American Civil War. While undoubtedly the primary attraction, they are only one piece of history spread throughout the park. Visitors to Tannehill may feel like they're taking a step back into time among the sights and structures of a bygone age.
We do have a grist mill that we do grind our own meal. It only happens very seldom. So when we need to grind to sell in the store or people call to buy them, and we ship everywhere.
The park also houses the Alabama Iron and Steel Museum, showcasing the importance Alabama's iron boom played as our state transitioned into the industrial age.
I would suggest to come to the museum first. When you get inside the museum, everything does seem to make sense, and then when you get out to the furnace, you're one of those awe moments.
If history's not entirely your thing, the park has plenty more to offer, with miles of hiking and bike trails, camping, fishing, and a variety of events at the park throughout the year.
My biggest event is March through November, which is Trade Day. It's an outdoor flea market, roughly about 400 vendors. We have a blacksmith on grounds as well. He does have classes for his blacksmithing. And then we have 5 craft cabins. We have a potter, we have a quilter, a painter, and an engraver. Those are normally open on the weekends.
And while it may all sound hopelessly beyond any child's appreciation, there's plenty of fun for the younger set to enjoy as well.
We have a miniature railroad, so they get to ride the train as well. And then we have Creek Kids, which is an aquatic education. They get to get wet and dirty down in the creek.
Tight budgets in the state have had an effect on Tannehill Ironworks in recent years, and the park relies more than ever on its visitors. As Alabama continues to grow and develop, it's nice to still have these landmarks to escape the bustle of the modern world and to symbolize what it took to arrive.
I'd want people to know about the park, about the history of the park, to know what the furnace meant to the surrounding area. A lot of people just remember the Birmingham part of U.S. Steel and all that over there. A lot of people don't know that the difference about the pig iron and the cannonballs and the bullets, and how important those 2 simple things were to us to get where we are today.
To find out about the many events at Tannehill, or maybe plan a weekend getaway, visit the park's website at tannehill.org. Mary, they have trade days, they have craft shows and holiday celebrations. It's just a cool place.
Sounds like there's something for everybody.
Oh yeah.
So make sure to plan your trip up there. Coming up, we'll see how the Aliceville community is helping meet immediate hunger needs while educating citizens about making healthy food choices.
Alabama soybean farmers help fuel the state's economy. Soybeans are used to make clean, renewable biodiesel and are a key ingredient in feed for poultry, catfish, and livestock. Soybeans are used in dozens of products we use every day. But best of all, soybean farmers generate $258 million and more than 4,000 jobs for Alabama's economy, all while helping conserve our natural resources. Explore the power of soy.
For nearly 50 years, the electric cooperatives of Alabama have been giving young people an opportunity to visit our nation's capital, where they learn about the value of electric cooperatives and the importance of grassroots advocacy. Top students join with thousands of others touring monuments, landmarks, and meeting with their congressional delegation. The Rural Electric Youth Tour program. Just one more way the electric cooperatives of Alabama are investing in the future of our state.
Support healthy food from local farmers by purchasing a Farming Feeds Alabama license plate. The tag funds education and promotion efforts, including Ag in the Classroom, agricultural scholarships, and youth programs. Get your Ag tag today.
Nothing brings the family together like U.S. farm-raised catfish. American catfish farmers are dedicated to producing a premium, healthy catfish with a consistently mild, sweet flavor. Because we take as much pride in our work as you do in your cooking. From our family farms to your family's table, you can be sure you're getting the highest quality fish. Because your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
We all know the old adage, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. If you teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. But what about teaching people the importance of eating healthy for a lifetime? In Pickens County, citizens are helping their neighbors by both meeting immediate needs and encouraging them to make better choices for longer, healthier lives. The fourth Tuesday of each month, more than 200 Aliceville residents gather at the United Methodist Church to feed their souls, minds, and bodies. On these days, the basement of the church becomes the Lord's Pantry, a food assistance ministry. Volunteers and qualified recipients gather for prayer and a hymn before bags of food are handed out.
Today they got chickens, sometimes they get fish, sometimes they get canned meat, they get fruit and vegetables, spaghetti, just whatever they have over there that's USDA or donated through them.
The Lord's Pantry recently installed commercial freezers and refrigerators, which means the ministry can provide fresh frozen meat. With help from local extension staff, recipients also learn about growing their own fresh produce and are given a healthy recipe that uses items they'll be given that day.
A lot of them take that recipe home and use it, you know. And then the tomatoes today were a big hit. They were really a big hit.
The Lord's Pantry receives donations from local food drives, but they are mainly funded through Invest an Acre and Feeding America. The program allows farmers to donate proceeds of an acre of a crop to a local food bank, which are matched 100% by Monsanto. Local row crop farmer Annie D. has participated in Invest an Acre since 2012, the same year the Lord's Pantry started.
I don't know of any other organization where 100% even gets where you want it to go, let alone 200%.
While the food bags from the Lord's Pantry fill an immediate need, the ministry's educational efforts show that volunteers are also interested in teaching others how to make good food choices that will help over their lifetimes.
We're really starting to try to promote healthy eating, healthy choices, exercise, and really just overall health of the community. And we can take what we're doing in Aliceville and use it as a pilot project and take it around the whole world. Other people around the world are faced with the same kind of problems that we're faced with right here in Aliceville.
Another piece of the effort to improve wellness in Pickens County, providing exercise equipment for public use. A new elliptical and exercise benches were recently installed at a public park just across the street from the church. The equipment was funded through a Center for Disease Control grant, with the goal of reducing the county's obesity rate, which is above 40%.
I come by here just about every afternoon. I see people using it all the time, so we're thrilled. And putting it with the walking track was just, very a complimentary thing to do.
With the exercise equipment and increased food education, Pickens County is on its way to improving the lives of its citizens.
We are all working together to try to build a healthy community. And if we're healthy physically and mentally, then we're much better prepared to go to work and do better for our families. And so we're just trying to build a healthy community one day at a time, one step at a time, one family at a time.
And Marie McKenzie knows their efforts are making a difference.
You can see the faces when they come through, and all of them always say, "Thank you, thank you." And so many of them need the nourishment, need the food. They're out of milk, they're out of peanut butter, they're out of spaghetti, they're out of things like this. And they're always glad to get it. So it's been a love of mine.
Since Invest an Acre started in Alabama, it's raised almost $64,000 or over $120,000 with the match for places like the Lord's Pantry.
Well, made you get a good workout while you were there?
You know, I did. That elliptical, it takes a little more coordination than I have, and the push-up bar, you can do regular push-ups or tricep push-ups. I couldn't even get up trying the tricep push-ups. Wow. So, got a little more working out to do.
After the break, those aren't cows, but they make some of the best tasting cheese you've ever tried. We're visiting a different kind of dairy when Simply Southern continues.
Alabama wheat and feed grain farmers grow food, fuel, and freedom. Their harvest helps feed Alabama's multi-million-dollar livestock, catfish, and poultry industries while reducing America's dependence on foreign countries for energy and food. By combining their strength with farmers of other commodities, feed grain growers are fueling the economic growth of Alabama communities.
Seriously?
Have some respect. Pick it up, man.
Did you just litter?
Take pride in your school.
Pick it up, man. Clean it up, dude.
Besides keeping your campus clean, adopt a mile with roadside cleanup. Attend the next Coastal Cleanup Day or pitch in on the annual Spring Cleanup campaign. Make a difference by picking up litter and
don't drop it on Alabama!
Join the more than 350,000 families who can save money as members of the Alabama Farmers Federation. Members get discounts at local businesses and can save on GM cars and trucks, hotel stays, child car seats, and more. For about 50 cents a week, your family could save hundreds of dollars a year. Join the Alabama Farmers Federation and start saving today. Learn more at any Alpha Insurance office.
Almost everybody loves cheese, and here in the U.S. it's generally made from cow's milk. But believe it or not, around the world, goat's milk is preferred. This morning, Kevin Worthington is taking us along to an East Alabama farm where they specialize in these exotic and delicious cheeses.
Goats often get a bad rap. For years, people have accused them of eating everything from kudzu to tin cans. But the goats here at Bulger Creek Farm in rural Macon County are fed a strict diet for one very important reason.
We control their diet very closely. We have a special feed that we feed them, and we feed them peanut hay. They do a little free graze around here, but if you notice, there's no really strong aromatic plants like kudzu. No kudzu, they're not eating kudzu, because anything they eat is going to go into the taste of the milk. I don't know if you've ever had goat milk that comes from a goat that just grazed the whole field of kudzu, but it's hard to stomach sometimes.
Stephen says even the smell of a male goat can affect the milk's taste, so the boys are kept away from the girls during milking season. Some of their milk is bottled and sold, but most of it is used to produce a number of different cheeses, including Gouda, feta, and cheddar.
Our most popular are really these spreads that we make from the soft white goat cheese. And we make a pecan wheel and a veggie wheel and a dessert wheel that tastes like cheesecake. And those are really for markets. People come up and taste and they're like, this is amazing. But it's all made from the white goat cheese. We make soap and we also make lotions. And they are made with the essential oils. They're all natural. The soap all has oatmeal in every bar and it's aged for 3 months before we ever cut it. And so it's an exceptional, it's harder than most homemade soap. And so it's very popular. It's good for your skin.
Amanda says Bulger Creek Farm was actually started because of stomach problems her dad developed back in 1990.
The goat milk has smaller fat molecules that are more easily digested by human beings. So it's good for people with stomach trouble, or little babies tend to do better younger on goat milk than on cow's milk.
Back then, Amanda's family hung cheesecloth over the sink in their kitchen. But because of the volume they're producing today, the Sides have a modern grade A kitchen where they create their delicious products. But regardless of how good it tastes, some folks just can't get past what Stephen calls the G word.
You'll be at market and they'll be like, oh, you have cheese? Oh yeah, we have cheese. It's goat cheese. Oh, it's goat cheese. I don't want to do that. And then they walk off and you're like, but you haven't even tried it. You can't even say you don't like it if you haven't tried it. But the people who do make the effort and try it, they say, wow, your product is awesome. That's great. It's not like anything I've ever had before, and that's what we try to shoot for every time we make cheese.
The Side soaps and lotions come in a wide variety of different scents. And like their cheeses, they're all natural and made from the finest ingredients.
Milk is very good for your skin. And if you ever eat something hot or you get something hot on your skin, they'll tell you to put dairy products on it. It's good for your skin. And our lotion has 70% milk. It's very, very creamy.
The Sides milk between 35 and 45 goats 7 days a week. Stephen says he and Amanda took on the farm after her parents retired because he simply couldn't imagine a world without Bulger Creek Farm goat cheese in it. For Simply Southern, I'm Kevin Worthington.
You can find Bulger Creek products at a number of restaurants, stores, and farmers markets in central Alabama and West Georgia. But if none of them is convenient to you, you can order online at bulgercreekfarm.com.
Now, Jim, a lot of our viewers may not have tried goat's cheese, so what do you actually think of it?
Well, I've got some in the refrigerator at the house right now. I can make a meal on goat cheese and crackers, let me tell you.
It tastes a lot like cream cheese, really, so put a little spicy jelly on top of that too.
Yeah.
Good.
When we return, few people can pronounce his name, so we all just call him Dr. A. And Sydney Phelps of Bonnie Plants will be talking to him about ways you can protect your backyard garden from unwanted pests.
Taking care of your children is the most important thing in life. My husband had taken out a life insurance policy. I knew that my children were going to be provided for.
My sister and I both were able to go to college with the life insurance that my father had purchased from Alpha. And now I feel the need to protect my family the same way that my father protected us.
Joseph's got a policy with Piper now. That's 5 generations, all with the same agent. And Alpha's the only place we want to be.
For service and savings, call Alpha.
What one thing can you say about your local quality co-op store? You can trust us. You get what you need for your farm, for your lawn and garden, and the safest products for your pets. We're locally owned and operated, and you can trust that we care about our community and the people in it. So if you're a raised bed gardener, a rose gardener, or if you farm hundreds of acres, the Quality Co-op Store has exactly what you need to get the job done. All this plus friendly, knowledgeable advice. Your Quality Co-op Store. There's one near you.
Support healthy food from local farmers by purchasing a Farming Feeds Alabama license plate. The tag funds education and promotion efforts, including Ag in the Classroom, agricultural scholarships, and youth programs. Get your Ag tag today.
We believe a plant should be more than a plant. This one is. It's all you need for your garden to succeed. Because it's a Bonnie plant. It represents hundreds of varieties of Bonnie's quality veggies and herbs. But more, it's from generations of Bonnie people who are passionate about sharing their love of gardening with you. Look for this little Bonnie plant and a whole family of plants like it in your garden center. Bonnie Plants, so you'll know how to grow.
Hey folks, Sydney Phelps with Bonnie Plants. Today I am here in Clanton, Alabama at one of the university's test gardens with the one and only Dr. A. Dr. A, how are you doing?
Good to see you.
Good to see you again as well. Now, you've got a really cool setup here. I know we've been talking, every time we meet, we're always talking about trying to get a chance to come out here and check the trial gardens and your trial crops, but this is really neat. You've got tomatoes, you've got some sunflowers, as well as some sorghum. So kind of give me some explain the whole program to me if you don't mind.
All right, I'm glad to be back, and this where we're standing right now is one of my large research fields. That's about 2 acres here, and we have tomatoes, and on the back end we have squash. But what we're doing here is we are trying some different ways of controlling insects, which are reduced insecticides, and how efficiently we can do that. It's all environment sustainability.
Okay.
And these trap crops are really great in cutting back on insecticide use and also on reducing the overall number of pests that you see in a garden or a farm. And this is really a farm scale study here that you're seeing.
So what we've got going on basically is these trap crops are attractants to normal everyday pests that get in the garden and just basically cause a nightmare, like I guess beetles, hornworms maybe, things like that.
Well, not all insects can be attracted to trap crops. So trap crops are very specific. The trap crops in the background here that we see here, those are mainly for sorghum and sunflower. Those are mainly for leaf-footed bugs and stink bugs. What happens is the leaf-footed bugs, when they migrate, these are our major pests, and these cannot be controlled with organic means. So this is an alternate strategy, and what happens is in mid-season, right around this time, when the leaf-footed bugs start to migrate to these crops, to like my tomatoes here in the background, they first see the trap crop of the sunflower, stop there and feed, and then they migrate to sorghum, and that's where we control them. So it's a very clever strategy, kind of distracting insects to stay away from the plots. But it's not effective for all insects, but we take care of the big ones.
Okay. Now, with doing that, of course, we're dealing with 2 acres here, which is a large scale. if you're a home gardener, what are some examples of different items that they can use as a trap crop in their garden? You mentioned squash. Is there a particular variety of squash that works well as far as being a trap crop?
That's a good question, and that's a question that master gardeners often ask us when we do these programs. And one of the coolest thing about trap cropping, like even sorghum and sunflower, is you can grow them in pots and move them around.
Okay.
So I have had that experience with some of the gardeners telling me that works, or you can do it in community gardens on beds. So we can grow these anywhere you want, and they're very hardy, but you can also use something like squash or even early planted okra. Remember, you have to plant the trap crops ahead of the main crop, which is what we're going to eat or sell. So that's the strategy. If you plant a little early, insects come to that, and you take care of the insects there. Don't go on a vacation with a trap crop. You can't.
Okay, well folks, Dr. A is always full of great knowledge. You can check out all of his information on their website right here below. Anytime you want to check out more ways that you can use organic means of keeping pests out or learning trap crops, check out Dr. A's site or go to bonnieplants.com or check out the app Homegrown with Bonnie Plants.
Always good to get some advice from our guest, Dr. A, because he really is the bug expert.
That man's forgotten more about bugs than most of us will ever know.
Absolutely. Now, if you have a gardening question, email simplysouthern.tv@alafarm.com, and Sydney may answer it on an upcoming show. Of course, you can always consult bonnieplants.com to help solve problems in your garden.
Here's how you can get more information online about the other stories we featured today. Visit Tannehill.org to plan your trip to the beautiful park between Birmingham and Tuscaloosa. You'll also find a list of the many events they have there throughout the year.
For more information on how farmers can turn their harvest into funds for places like the Lord's Pantry, visit investanacre.org and visit aces.edu for more information on the work of Alabama Extension in your community. BulgarCreekFarm.com has everything you need to know about the small goat dairy in East Alabama that produces high-quality soaps, lotions, and cheeses. You can even place an order from their website.
Whenever you're online, be sure to take a moment to like our Simply Southern Facebook page and visit simplysouthern.tv.net to watch previous shows you may have missed. Maybe most normal folks would head to the coast to find sea urchins, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, next Sunday morning, I'm going looking for them in downtown Birmingham.
Oh my, good luck with that. Plus, we'll find out what farmers do when they're not farming. And here's a hint, it has to do with farming. Thanks for watching Simply Southern this morning. I'm Mary Johnson.
And I'm Jim Allen. We'll see you again next Sunday morning.
Simply Southern is a production of the Alabama Farmers Cooperative and the Alabama Farmers Federation.